Hi everyone! In this video, I'm going to show you how to add prerequisites in Canvas. Prerequisites are going to allow you to make it so that students can't just skip around through the modules, that they have to actually complete the modules in a certain order or certain things in a module before moving on to another module. So the first thing is that you need to make sure you are on your modules page, which if you're not already on your modules page, go into a course and then over on your left-hand navigational links, make sure you clicked on modules. Then start in whichever module you want students to make sure they have certain information complete before being able to move on to another module. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and just start in my example module. And what you want to do is go over to your gear icon on the far right, and that's the gear icon for this example module, and click on it, and then click the Edit button. Once you click the Edit button, what you're going to need to do is add your requirements. Now, this is a two-step process, so this is not the only thing you have to do. You're going to have to go into additional modules to finish this, but you have to do this part first, otherwise the other part won't make sense. So in this case, what you have to do is set what makes this module complete. So what requirements that students have to do in order for this module to be done and for them to move to the next module. To do this, you want to go down to where it says this module is complete when, and where it says no requirements defined, click on the add requirement. So go ahead and click on that, and then select one of your assignments, or select a page or any of your other content that should show up. This will be the content that's in your module. It'll automatically populate here. So I'm going to say example assignment, and that it's complete when students submit the assignment. You could score, it'll tell you if you pick score, it'll tell you out of how many. That means the student would not be able to move on until you graded that assignment and gave the student a grade. So for me, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and just say submit the assignment. I'm then going to add another requirement, an example discussion, and say when students contribute to the page. Once again, you can pick whatever works for you. I'm just kind of giving you some examples. And then I'm going to do example quiz, and when students score at least, I'm going to say a 15. So once you've done that, you can also choose to require the students to move through the module, this specific module, in sequential order, which means they would have to do the example assignment, then the discussion, then the quiz in that order. If you don't care, you just want to make sure they do all of it, you can leave that box unchecked. Also, you can lock a module until a given date, but those are just little extra things. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and click Update Module. Now remember, this is just the first step in a two-step process. So click Update Module. You can see that it took, by here under Example Assignment, it says they must submit the assignment. Example Discussion must contribute to the content of this page. Example Quiz must score at least a 15. Okay, so that's the first part. Now the second part is I don't want students to be able to access, and I'm not worried about the tools and resources, but I don't want them to be able to access this Skittles project until they've completed this example module. So what I would do is come down to the Skittles project and go over to the little gear icon, click it, and click Edit. And what I want to do is say add a prerequisite. So we did the requirements on the previous module. Now I'm going to add a prerequisite. So in this case, the prerequisite is going to be that the students must complete the example module in order to access this module. And then I just click Update Module. So now, down at the bottom, so here we're on Skittles project, if I scroll down, it says Prerequisite Example Module. So what this means is that before the student can access anything in this module, they're going to have to do all of these things that are required in this module. This is why you have to set up the requirements for a module and also set up the prerequisites. So you need both pieces in order for this to work. Now, if you don't want the students to access any of these modules until they're done with the example module, you would just come in and edit and also add the example module here. Now that would just keep them out until they finish that example module. But let's say that you want this to be kind of a cascading where they can't get into, so once they're done with the example module, you want them to be able to access the Skittles project. You don't want them to be able to access the paper towel project until they're done with the Skittles project. So what you would need to do there is come back into this edit, so gear icon and edit for the Skittles project, And then you would have to add a requirement. So you already have a prerequisite, and that's the example module. Now you would add the requirements of here's now all of the content. You want the students to have to view the items on that page. And so basically you would just kind of skip through and say everything you want the students to have to complete before they can move on. So I'm just going to do 3 things for now and click update. So now you can say that the students must view this page, must submit this assignment, must submit this assignment. Now I can go down to the paper towel project, click this view gear icon, click edit, and add the prerequisite of the Skittles project right there. So basically now the students can't get into the paper towel project until they've finished the Skittles project, and they can't get into the Skittles project until they finish the example module. But you have to have all of these different pieces. So you have to have the must submit certain assignments or view certain pages, but then you also have to have the prerequisites set. I hope this has done a good job explaining and showing you how to set this feature up. If you have additional questions, you can always look at the additional resources and handouts. Thank you.